Okay, everyone, I call this meeting to order today at 7:11 p.m. On January 6th, this Tuesday. I hope the attendance sheet is being passed around. Are there any amendments to be made to the agenda today? Joy,
Can we please strike TJF from the agenda?
Tommy,
I would like to add a special presentation on the 2026 referendum timeline.
sounds good. Sherry,
We strike bag allocations.
yes. Divine,
Can we strike ARC allocations?
any other amendments? Chris,
May we please strike academic success referendum and travel grant mini fund? Thank you.
And then I would like to add a discretionary fund, or I motion to add a discretionary fund allocation for the HSI town hall. Can I get a second?
Second.
Tommy motion, Divine seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All against. All abstaining. With a vote of 11 to 0 to 0, that is added onto today's agenda. Are there any other amendments? Sherry,
I motion to add a letter of support for AB 715 to the agenda. 713 to the agenda.
is there a second? Is there a Divine? Sherry motions, Divine seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All against. All abstaining. With a vote of 12 to 0 to 0, that letter of support is added onto tonight's agenda. Any other final amendments? If not, can we please get a motion to actually add something onto the agenda? Can I please motion to add a special presentation for HSI Student Town Hall invitation from Student Liaison? A second. What? There's no motion. Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait for Tommy to add the links. Can we please motion to finalize tonight's agenda? Can we please get a motion to finalize tonight's agenda?
I motion to finalize the agenda for January 6th, 2026.
Second.
Tommy motions. Joy seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All against. All abstaining. With a vote of 13 to 0 to 0, that our agenda is approved for Tuesday, January 6th. We'll now be moving on to the approval of our previous minutes. Have everyone got the opportunity to take a look at week 10's meeting? And if there are no concerns, we can approve those tonight. Now we will be moving on to public comment. Can you please raise your hand in the audience if you are here for public comment? You may approach the microphone. You have 2 minutes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Layla. I'm with CalPERG. We're the student activist group that's been at the UCs for over 50 years with 27,000 dues-paying members across the state. And so wanted to give a quick update. This quarter, we're working on 5 campaigns. Our lead campaign is expanding ocean protections in California. Our state leaders have to make a decision on this in May on whether we will expand marine protected areas or not. So this is the final big push. We want to turn out 300 people across the state to public hearings in May in support. So that's our main focus for this quarter. But we're also working to address fashion waste, turn out young people to vote, make public transit more accessible for students, and fight student hunger. And we'd love to work with you on all of those things. Also, update the campaign that we worked on last year to ban plastic grocery bags in California just went into effect this year, which we're super excited about. This cuts off a major source of needless single-use plastic pollution and delivers on a decision that Californians made nearly a decade ago. So we're excited that that's finally happening. But yeah, that's my update. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Are there any students here, more students in person for public comment? If not, we'll move to if there are any students online. Tell me, are there any? Hello, you may speak whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm a representative for the SIG Student Association. We actually applied for the CS mini fund, and on our end, it shows that it's under review by board administration. We actually talked to our advisor, Orlando Luna, and he had told us to bring up the situation with you guys directly of why it hasn't been approved yet. But these funds were meant to give out care kits for the homeless. So we just wanted to just bring the attention that on we were approved, but we never got we aren't able to put in the requisition for the funds since it's still under review by the board.
Thank you. We'll be more than happy to reach you offline.
Got it.
Thank you for coming. Next, we'll be moving on to funding, specifically first contingency programming with Bethany.
Hi, this week we had a total contingency programming request of $56,254, and we recommend an allocation of $18,326 for one USAC entity and 48 non-USAC entities. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I've also pasted it in the chat.
Thank you. Can we please get a motion to approve contingency programming? Can we please get a motion to approve contingency programming?
I motion to approve an allocation of $18,326 for one USAC entity and 48 non-USAC entities for contingency programming.
Second. Tell me motions. Daniel seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All against. And all abstaining. With a vote of 13-0, that contingency programming is approved for January 6th. Next, we have SFS allocations with Edison.
Yeah, so this week SFS recommends an allocation of $12,111.69 to 2 USAC entities and 12 non-USAC entities.
Thank you. Are there any questions for that allocation? If not, those are approved. Next, we have SWC Programming Fund with Hannah.
The SWC Programming Fund recommends an allocation of $830 to 2 non-USAC entities.
Thank you. Are there any questions about that allocation? If not, the SWC Programming Fund allocations are approved. Next, we have ARC allocations with Divine. Strike, those are strike. Okay, you struck. Those are strikes. Next, we have discretionary fund allocations with Tommy.
All right. So we're going to be getting a presentation later, but the HSI Town Hall is going to be, the annual HSI Town Hall will be held next week. And we do have a funding request that we are hoping to get approved from discretionary, contingent upon, we're going to also be submitting an application or encouraging them to submit an application to BOD. So this will just kind of be a contingency plan if the full funding is not approved through BOD. But the request is for $3,771.88. And yeah, there's a little document with context. I can read it briefly. It says the Hispanic Serving Institution federal designation.
I think we have a student liaison here if you'd like to speak. We can strike the presentation. And if you want to go up to the mic now and explain a little bit about what the event is and what the funding would be for. Yeah, of course. Yeah, right now. Yeah, let's get it out the way.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. My name is Estrella Gutierrez. I'm a third-year political science major here at UCLA, and I'm one of this year's HSI student liaisons. So as mentioned previously, on January 14th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., the HSI team, alongside various other Latinx student organizations, as well with the help of IVP and the Office of the President, will be having our annual HSI Student Town Hall. And that is essentially one of the biggest events that we have throughout the year. We are usually aiming to get about at least 100 students in to listen in on any progress that has been done here within the HSI initiative at UCLA, as well as getting input and feedback from students as to what they feel they would want to see in order for us as a team to essentially better serve the students here at UCLA. With that, it's an open invitation to any and all students. All students are welcome. The RSVP form is on our link tree as well as on our Instagram. But yeah, we just wanted to thank USAC for the consideration of our funding request, as mentioned previously. And expenses for that will be going towards mainly catering as well as the venue costs. As mentioned previously, that document also has kind of a further breakdown. But yeah, that's essentially it.
Thank you. And tell me if you want to share any more specifics or the logistics of the cost.
I think so. I think that's it. But yeah.
Are there any questions from council members? Okay. Can someone please motion for this discretionary funding?
I motion to allocate $3,771.88 of discretionary funding to the HSI Town Hall contingent upon insufficient funding received from BOD funding, a BOD funding application.
Second.
Tommy motions, Divine seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All against. And all abstaining. With a vote of 13-0, that discretionary funding allocation is approved. Next, we have special presentation. First with Judicial Board. I believe that is Eli Sepulveda. And are they online? Okay, so let's check it. Okay, then that's with Orlando, the 2026 referendum timeline.
Hello, everyone.
Do you have a slideshow or no? Just
yeah. So just something, the link for this guidelines that Tommy's going to post. Thank you, Tommy. This is more than likely the final version, but I think one more set of eyes need to set on it, and once that happens, Jessica will be able to post it and it'll be an official. But I highly doubt that this will very much moving forward. Okay, so I know there's been a lot of talk about the fee referenda, and so UCLA, along with a lot of the other UCs, are trying to kind of formalize this process for all campuses because it does go up to UCOP for final presentation. So it was asked of us to sort of formalize this process, which I think is a great idea anyways. So there's no Wild Wild West anymore. People know when, where, how. So first things first, this referendum, these guidelines, I will be the advisor that you can come to discuss the details behind this. If you have any questions about it, you should always reach out to me, especially if you're running into any problems with language, getting signatures, etc. Definitely I'll be your point person for USAC. So just a quick overview. These guidelines outline the official process for initiating, reviewing, and approving student fee referenda at UCLA, including both petition-based and council form sponsored procedures. All steps must be followed to ensure the compliance with university policies and timelines. So the reason why I've asked to put this on immediately is because this starts next week. You can begin this process next week. It'll run through week 7, so you do have time, as you can see the schedule. So week 2 to week 7 is really when you should be focused on this, especially in the first half. So beginning week 2, students can submit a referenda draft to begin the petition process. You'll be able to do that through USAC, the USAC e-board. If this year we do have an e-board chair, but in the future, if we don't have one in place, then it'll go to your USAC administrative representatives, which will be me and Lori. So then the review process. For the ASU-CLA Academic Planning and Budget Review, the timeline is 5 days. The criteria is that you have to have your language in place, affected departments areas, you have the return to aid, you have the consumer price index, and the inclusion of summer session. So these are the criteria that you must have for this, for even review. Once again, if you have questions on this, we should probably sit down and we'll have a longer conversation. I know some of you will be meeting next week with more information with administration. So if you have any questions on this, you can either ask them or you can definitely come to me or Lori. The Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Monroe Gordon, will need to approve the language. He needs 10 days. 5 days to approve the language. Because he approves it, then it can go to, I believe, then it goes to the Chancellor who gives final approval. But the Chancellor is predicated on Monroe Gordon's review of this. So it's really important for us not to miss any deadlines to get it in front of Monroe as quickly as possible. The petition process, weeks 3 and 6, students continue to apply through the election board. Weeks 4 through 7, students collect petition signatures. Beginning week 7, the election board closes the petition process. Either it closes for insufficient time, signatures, and we'll need the extra time for approval. So that's the key. It was determined that week 7 will give everyone enough time to review it to make the ballot in time. The submission to UCOP, as I was referencing earlier, will prepare the USAC representative, will prepare the document for the Chancellor to submit the referenda to UCOP for review, which will be in conjunction with the Vice Chancellor, Monroe Gordon. All right. 3, council form sponsors student fee referenda process. The sponsorships, week through 8, students collaborate with USAC, GSA, officer to sponsor the referenda. So this is the time that you begin to work with whomever you need to work with, or they want to work with you. So this will happen week 8. The review process will begin just like the others, will begin week 2. You can submit the drafts. You could have drafts ran by me, someone else, but definitely don't just submit the referenda language without, a set of eyes on them. As noted earlier, if the e-board chair has not been selected, students will work with the USAC administrative representatives. Next is the ASU-CLA AP and B review. Timeline is also 5 days, same as petition-based process. We just need the time to review it. can't review it in 24 hours. So 5 days is still a short process for us, but it's enough time for administration to give feedback or approve it. Same thing with VCSA approval. It's time 5 business days. The review process, weeks 3 through 6, students will continue to submit the review through election board beginning week 7. It'll be closed. So both processes will adhere to the same timelines. Council form action, week 8, no later than week 8, USAC adds the referenda as an action item on the agenda under new business for questions and discussion. USAC asks questions and votes to approve or deny adding the referenda to the election ballot. And then week 9, we submit to UCOP. And then spring quarter, the UCOP returns the reviewed student fee referendum to USAC, representative staff for review of changes if needed. SFAC notification occurs as well, and the student petition authors inform SFAC on potential student fee referenda. Chancellor approves it week 2. Week 3, Chancellor provides, week 2, he will review. Week 3, he will provide the decision. Week 4 of spring break, that's GSA election. Week 6 is the USAC election, estimated, fingers crossed. And final submission will be weeks 7 through 10. If a student fee referenda is approved, referenda are sent to the Chancellor with completed verification forms to be sent to UCOP. This process is initiated in conjunction with the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs and AP&B. Note, all timelines are subject to change based on university scheduling and administrative review periods. So as I was saying earlier, this document, although I can't say it's official, more than likely will not change. If it does, it'll be changed just very little. But this is the basic outline for this school year and hopefully moving forward as well. Thoughts, questions right here? Tommy.
When it comes to review, I know it goes through ASUCLA first. Does it need to get approval from ASUCLA in order to receive approval from the Vice Chancellor? Because I remember last year, ASUCLA did not approve. There was a lot of back and forth for the resources first, but it ultimately was approved by the Vice Chancellor. So
yeah, so it's not a formal approval. It's more so just reviewing it and understanding the impact, because all of your referendum fees, even if they're being designated for other campus departments, come through student government accounting as your accounting unit. So it's mainly to review and understand like the fee amount and how it's going to impact your budget and all of those things. And then, ultimate language approval is really going to be UCOP and the Chancellor or Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs.
And then I have one more question.
I'd just like to add to that, this is a good example to make sure that you touch base with all your stakeholders. In the past, some referendums have gone out there without actually speaking with those that are going to be affected either with the money, not, the money. So it's always good to explain that to your stakeholders. And coming to ASUCLA is kind of, you're the stakeholder for USAC. So yes, please.
Last one is just kind of the gap between UCOP and then the rest of the review process. I know it says week 9. I don't know if there's any way to increase like a little bit of space for the UCOP approval. When we did it last year, UCOP was really, really slow to even review it. Like it took weeks. So I don't know if there's any way which we can kind of provide more time for that step in particular, given it's kind of out of our control.
So that is also, this is part of the process that we wanted to avoid that. If you look at hold on, where's it at? You're right. That isn't on here. That's something definitely that was taken into consideration when we put the timeline together. The chancellor needed to review it, sign off, and get it to UCOP. But I will look into that question.
I can also add, so part of the part of the formalizing in the process for ASUCLA to review, Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs to review, is so that we can reduce the likelihood of UCOP kicking back edits. We generally know what their edits are. They're usually around policy. So we can kind of try to pre-screen some of that. And then this timeline does also take into account, like, we all are working over spring break as well. So we have that whole week where UCOP can process and respond. And we'll just work closely as edits do come through to make sure we turn them around as quickly as possible. But I think it should be enough weeks of reviewing. Again, like I said, because the idea is that we're giving them a pretty final document where they shouldn't really have much feedback on it.
Yeah, the idea is that whatever our Vice Chancellor Monroe Gordon gets, that version should be the final version that gets to go to the chancellor, who approves it, then goes to UCOP. If it adheres to that, we're really hoping that this will mitigate or negate any of those other delays that we experienced last year. Any other questions? No? All right. Well, thank you all. Like I said earlier, definitely come to ASU CLA, your advisors. They're your stakeholders. Let them know what's going on. The only reason I say come to Lori and I is because then we will review it and then pass it along to the Vice Chancellor. But Jessica and the gang, they definitely know. They're in all these meetings as well, so they're aware of this whole timeline process as well. So this presentation, they already knew what was coming.
All right. Thank you so much, Orlando. Next, we'll be moving on to officer reports. With myself, I will be leaving everything written. Tommy?
Yes, everything will be written for today.
Sherry?
Yeah, just one thing. Transfer Lobby Day is coming up next quarter, and our office, in collaboration with Harem's office, we are working on recruiting for a steering committee. So if you're a transfer student, you care about lobbying and advocacy, I would totally recommend that you apply. It's bit.ly/TSAD steering due January 22nd.
Thank you. Talia?
I should come to our welcome back table next Thursday by Bruin Plaza. We're going to have raffle tickets and you can win fun prizes.
Thank you. Jaya?
Hello, welcome back to Happy Winter Quarter, everyone. I usually don't have much to say on this, but I do have a couple relevant updates that I do want to shout out to. One major shout out, Swana Lobby Day Steering Committee is launching, so I'm super excited for that and grateful to partner with UCSA on that. If you have any questions, please let me know and I will forward you to the right people. We're working right now for looking right now for a chair, and we really like it to be from the respective Swana communities. So please let me know if you're interested, and I'll put you in contact with the right people. So I'm really excited for that in April. We have Black History Month coming up. I'm really excited that we have booked the place, Broom Plaza, February 11, 6 to 8:30 p.m. for Black History Month edition. Black Wednesday partnered with African Student Union, my office, and CAC with Divine. So really excited about that. Also in February, we'll be doing a Black Caucus and also partnering with American Indian Student Association on an Afro-Indigenous event as well. So super excited for that and all the other amazing events coming up from Junior to this quarter.
Brett?
So what we're working on right now is getting our Student Homes Coalition chapter registered with Soul, so that should be very soon. But if you're interested in anything housing advocacy, housing policy, curious about why there's a housing crisis and maybe how to combat it, I'm encourage you to check out tinyurl.com/UCLA SHC form. It's our interest form. Please share with everyone. We also have an event coming up on the 20th in collaboration with EVP and Student Homes. We have 3 speakers confirmed, and it's going to be about SB 79, which is kind of like the it's like the housing around transit bill that recently passed, and it was kind of contentious. And so we have a UCLA professor, Professor Lenz. He does research on land use, zoning, housing segregation. He has a book that he just released called Where the Hood At: 50 Years of Change in Black Neighborhoods. He's a great professor. I had him. We also have Scott Epstein, who's Director of Policy and Research with Abundant Housing in LA, and he formerly worked at UCLA Crest as a researcher. And then lastly, we have Nolan Gray, who's a UCLA PhD student. He's done research on housing affordability, land use regulation, and urban design. And he also has a book that he released called Arbitrary Lines: How Zoning Broke the American City and How to Fix It. So if you're interested in anything housing, zoning, redlining, transportation, I think it's such a great event, and we've putting a lot of work towards it, so it's going to be super cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
My updates tonight will be written. Thank you.
Daniel?
Hi everyone. Just really quickly wanted to shout out that we have our indie rock concert coming up next Friday in Kirkhoff Grand Salon. We will be announcing the headliner and opener hopefully by the end of this week, so just be on the lookout for that. Other than that, general programming, we're working on 2 speaker events for this quarter. Should be really exciting. Our first one should be at the beginning of February. And other than that, we started looking for vendors for Afrofest that we're doing in collaboration with NSA.
Thank you. Edison?
Yeah, my updates will be written.
Thank you. Divine?
First event of the quarter.
No, I don't think it's on.
Oh, okay, yeah. First event tomorrow, Conscious Vision Board Night. Show up to plan your year. Super exciting news. CAC is starting a radio show that's going to be every Sunday at 5:00 p.m. It's called Captivated Cultural Affairs on Air. We'll be going over each series for this quarter every Sunday, and we'll expand that moving forward. And then we're just working on Hip Hop Congress. It's coming up. February is Hip Hop Appreciation Month, so we're just working on that. And we have our first Black History Month gallery that's going to be on the last week of February. Stay tuned. And we have an event nearly every single week, so just working on everything.
Joy?
We are hosting a FAC Fest this Friday from 5 to 8:30 p.m. in Sunset Village to celebrate accessibility, sustainability, and transportation advocacy. All FAC committees will have their own booths, and 15 plus FAC partners, such as DSU, will be tabling. And there will be live music and a raffle. And then we are planning an academic accessibility town hall with DSU, TSR, GR3, GR2, and other disability justice advocates next Thursday, January 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. in Bruin Viewpoint Room, or right here. We will be discussing issues with CAE and hybrid modality, and we will be offering free food. And this will be the first accessibility town hall we have this quarter in our town hall series. And we will also be having a physical accessibility and health accessibility town hall coming up next month and in March. And you can RSVP to the next Thursday's town hall using the link in my officer report, and everything else will be written.
Thank you. Next, we have Hannah.
The SWC has posted, I think it was today, but maybe yesterday, our fall 2025 impact report. So check that out if you want to know what we were up to. Also, our peer support lounge is open, and they are also hosting a welcome event with the Latinx Success Center on January 12th from 12 to 2 p.m. I think it's free conchas. And then Massage Mondays are continuing this quarter.
I'm sorry, Nico. Don't.
It's okay. BOD funding is due Friday, so if you know anyone who wants to apply, or you as USAC offices want to apply, make sure to get the application in by Friday at 5 p.m. And other than that, FSC is currently doing its quarterly lab coat rental program, 500. Hello. Okay. We had 500 signups, but we only had like 200 lab coats, so they're all gone now. But you'll see some more about this when surplus funding comes around. Other than that, though, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have. Are you ISR rep? Okay. TSR, sorry. Do you have any officer reports? You can just keep it written. Okay, sounds good. ISR? No.
Yeah, our first event of the quarter with Student Legal Services is set to happen on the 13th at the Dashi Center, and the rest will be.
Thank you. Next, we have Orlando.
Update. I think it was mentioned already about registering. Seoul is currently registering new organizations. It opens up today. I'm sorry, on Monday, and it will close on Friday next week. So you have 2 weeks. If you're starting a club, know someone starting a club, let them know. And then for all new organizations, the requirement is to attend our one-stop workshop series, where they must attend a new org workshop either in person or online or virtual. We give 6 to 7 different options, days and times for you all. But yeah, that's the big news, and I believe that is all I have.
Thank you, Lori. Lorelai.
Okay, hi everyone. I just have 2 quick updates. So reminder that rec deadline is this week on Friday at 11:59 p.m. So that means that if you have any purchases that you made in the fall that you haven't submitted a rec for yet and need to get reimbursed, please do so by that date. Otherwise, SGA will just cancel the rec. So make sure you get reimbursed. And then if you know anyone that is submitting in your commissions or in your respective orgs that you're participating in on campus that need help with rec submission, we're hosting another rec clinic this Thursday, the 8th, between 2 and 3 p.m. So it's just a walkthrough of how to submit a rec, and then SGA will be there to answer any other questions that anyone has regarding their particular rec submissions. But again, it's just about submitting the rec. It doesn't have to be that it's already been signed by any of you or any of the funding bodies yet. It's just so that way we have record that you want a reimbursement. And then the second one is that there's going to be lighting changes happening on Monday between 7 a.m. and throughout the afternoon. So so people are going to be accessing your offices to put in new fluorescent light bulbs. So just be aware, let your staff know if anyone's going to be occupying your spaces that someone may be coming in to do quick maintenance on that. And other occupants of Kirkhoff are already aware of this, so just keep that in mind. And then Jonathan has been out sick yesterday and today. I'm hoping he'll be back tomorrow, but if you are waiting on anything from him and you need it urgently, please feel free to contact me.
Thank you. Lori isn't here. Jonathan isn't here. Oh, Lori is on it. No. Okay. Well, Jonathan isn't here. Peter isn't here. New business. We will now move on to our letter of support on our agenda for AB 713. To keep it short, the Undergraduate Student Association Council at UCLA submits this letter in strong support of Assembly Bill 713. This legislation is necessary to end the ongoing exclusion of undocumented students from on-campus employment opportunities within California's public higher ed systems. I'll skip a bit. Assembly Bill 713 is required to end systemic job discrimination in public higher ed that undocumented students continue to face, and the inability to access on-campus employment directly impacts students' ability to remain enrolled, meet basic needs, and complete their education. Institutional inaction has demonstrated that voluntary compliance is insufficient. The California Supreme Court finds the UC's employment policy discriminates against undocumented students based on their immigration status. Given the UC's values of inclusion and opportunity for all students, the UC should make an active effort to repair this. Respectfully, the Undergraduate Student Association Council. And Sherry will be submitting on behalf of, right? Can you share more? Yeah, Sherry will be submitting on behalf of USAC to the official Assembly Committee on Higher Education tomorrow morning. So thank you. Can we please get a motion?
I motion to approve letter of support for AB 713.
I second.
Sherry motions, Tommy seconds. All in favor, please raise your hands. Please lower your hands. All against. All abstaining with a vote of 13 to 0. The letter in strong support of AB 713 for the Assembly Committee on Higher Education is approved. With that, we conclude and I adjourn our meeting for January 6th at 7:52 p.m. Thank you, everyone. You already ended the Zoom. Tell me, wait, to clarify for records, we'll be submitting on behalf of USAC, not Cherry as an individual.
Yes. So they don't know. I took a look. Yeah. So the sixth. Yeah. Is, right? So it says, at least on my UCLA, it says pending board administration. Okay.
Was this for the Thea's meeting one?
Yeah.
I already emailed them, so they were, they said either they received the email with like their account, or they didn't get it. So I've already messaged, I added the CS pair and then gave it, so it should be.
Okay. A lot of times.
I can forward that to you.
Okay. Like what? They just said they didn't get a confirmation. It's funny that you said that because I couldn't say. Spam.
It's confusing too, UCLA, because like the only two it or USA BOD and CCP. So like.
Yeah, it is. I just saw it today.
Like that.
And it takes you to their,
Okay.
their application form. I was gonna ask you that too. I was like, oh,
I'll look into that, but basically like with that, since it doesn't like, there used to be a function, get your account information on there, no one uses that because SGD. So then I think that maybe just they didn't update approve. They got scared.
Okay.
But I'll forward that.
Okay.